Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. This week, it was brought to my attention that there was a student out there that um, was asked to do a, a research paper. The research paper was overtly anti-religious. The student was asked to do research and find the intersectionality between religious discrimination, sexism, classism, and racism, and how they all intersect. To prepare for this paper, the student was asked to find the intersectionality between religion and other forms of oppression. Within academia, we have to understand the agendas. We have to understand what actually is in play here. Within academia, you have many different ideologies that are being pushed and promoted to the students. You have postmodernist thought, you have moral relativism, you have the LGBTQ agenda. Everything that I'm mentioning is contrary or contradictory to Islam and what we as Muslims understand to be correct in accordance with what is legislated by the Creator. When I first, or my second go around in academia, alhamdulillah, I was a bit more mature. I was well grounded in Islam. I had taken some time, a few years, and studied in Egypt. I had traveled quite extensively internationally. So I was not this big sponge just soaking up everything that these academics were telling me. I had counter narratives. I had counter information, and my basis was Islam. If you enter into academia and your basis is not strong, it is easy to be sidetracked. It is easily to be your Islam to be derailed if you don't have the strong basis going into it. We have to understand the purpose of education. The purpose of education is not to define us or to make us great. It is a tool. It is a tool to maneuver through the society. My field of study is sociology. Sociology says that within the society, all people have status sets. People have statuses. You have your ascribed status, your achieved status, and your master status. The ascribed status is that which you had no say-so in being born into. You have no say-so in it. Helps make you who you are. Your race, your sexuality, your socioeconomic status, the family that you were born into. All of these things are a part of your ascribed status, and again, you played no part in it. You had no say-so in it, whether you're born to poverty or poor or born into royalty. This is a part of your ascribed status. Your achieved status is exactly that. Is that what you earned? Degrees, certifications, accolades, possible prestige, status in the society. All of that can be achieved. Then you have your master status, and the master status is that which you want others to identify with first and foremost in reference to you. Hi, hey, hello, how are you? What is your name? Oh, my name is Mark Smith. What is your name? Oh, my name is Dr. Such and Such. My name is Officer Such and Such. My name is Judge Such and Such. Actually, what they gave you first were their titles. These titles garner respect. So the people will give you the titles before or attached to their name in order to give you the understanding that they deserve a certain level of respect. When you walk into a person's office and they have their degrees on the wall in their offices or in their homes, why do people do that? They do that because when others come in, they see this and immediately it garners a level of respect. This is part of their master status. Well, we as Muslims, our master status is we're Muslim. That is first and foremost, and nothing comes before that. Again, being in the humanities department, coming up from undergraduate school to graduate school, I had to filter all of the information that I received through Islam, through the lens of Islam, halal and haram, good and bad, acceptable, not acceptable. Where the information that I'm getting, where does it fall on the spectrum? Is it permissible? Is it not permissible? In academia, I implore all students, first and foremost, remember your Islam. That is your basis. That is your asl. That is your lens or spectrum of filtering information and ideologies that you will come in contact with in academia. Now, these ideologies, this postmodernist thought, this moral relativism and neoliberalism are not relegated to higher education. To turn people to these ideologies, which at their essence are from a shaytaan. They're from shaytaan, no doubt. But to have the society open to them, they begin at a very young age. It begins when these kids are in kindergarten. And as they come up through kindergarten, up to elementary school, junior high, and high school, these deviant ideologies become the norm. For the Muslim, being subjected to this and not having the Islamic knowledge and the strength to weather the onslaught of these ideologies, it becomes it has a very pernicious effect on the Muslim. It has a very slowly but surely gradual harmful effect on the Muslim. And as it sets itself into your heart or into your mind, it begins to metastasize, and then you begin to spread it to other Muslims because now you're having doubt. These ideologies are ubiquitous throughout education. That's why I said it's not just higher education, but it's in all levels of education. It is ubiquitous. It's everywhere. We have to recognize, number one, as Muslims, number two, as parents, the shark-infested waters that we are asking our Muslim children to tread water in. We have to understand what they're being subjected to. And it is our responsibility as Muslims, as parents, as leaders, to make sure that our children are well prepared to go and traverse all of the rigors of academia. The academic process to get people to begin to have doubt is a very slow and methodical process. Just like the shaytaan. The shaytaan is not going to come to you and say, commit shirk. He's not going to come to you and say, worship other than Allah. No, he's going to come to you and he's going to chip away. Very small, very methodical, very meticulous, and he's going to tap, 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 tap until there's a crack in the base. And from that crack, the doubt will then rush in. We as Muslims, we have to understand that our master status is Islam, and that we have to stand upon that. Now, within these universities, it is easy to be called onto the carpet. And when I say called onto the carpet, I mean being charged with any type of homophobic or, anti this or anti that statement. If you don't toe the line in academia, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. And I'm telling you from personal experience, it's difficult. You have to have the wherewithal to stand upon the haqq. Choose or pick and choose your battles wisely. I used to be that student that would debate professors all the time, especially when I hear them teaching blatant kufr. When I hear them say things in reference to religion or in reference to the creator or in reference to we are obliged and mandated to accept any type of lifestyle or any ideology, in the under the guise of moral relativism, that each individual has the ability to define for themselves what truth is. So no matter what it is, we have to accept it. We have to accept LGBTQ. We have to accept that the creator is not the ultimate moral authority, that morality is subjective and each individual can define for himself good or bad, right or wrong, deviant or not deviant. Who are you to define what's deviant? You're an individual, I'm an individual. Eurocentric, what's the word I'm looking for? It's an ethnocentric mode or way of thinking that promotes hyper individualism, right? And because each individual is their own island, each person is their own island, you can't invade their island. You can't question, you can't, go against, speak against, whatever they are pushing and promoting, whatever they're trying to get you to digest. We need to understand that these ideologies are very detrimental. They are contrary to Islam, and our children are having to deal with this stuff from kindergarten all the way up through higher education. Higher education, I would almost say, is the pinnacle of this stuff. If gone unchecked, it will metastasize. It will grow like a cancer. And then that individual will begin to spread their doubt and spread their newly learned ideologies to other Muslims. So to the Muslim, don't let them do this to you. Understand that Islam is the haqq, 100% unequivocal, and it is upon us to stand upon that. It is upon the Muslim to support the Muslim. It is upon the Muslim to support the Muslim. Academia can be a dangerous thing if you are not careful, if you are not well prepared, if you are ill-equipped Islamically, meaning your level of knowledge, your understanding of the Tawheed, your understanding of the Sunnah, and all of that, and that which it entails, then again, you're swimming in shark-infested water with stakes tied to your feet. You're asking to be eaten. I would almost tell everyone, before you even think about going to college, be well grounded in your deen. Be well grounded in your deen. Pick and choose your battles wisely. I learned that the hard way. I used to bang with professors. I used to go hard until I understood I'm here to just get this piece of paper. That's it. I'm not going to change these people. These people are definitely not going to change me. I'm here to just get that piece of paper and go about my merry way. Pick and choose your battles wisely. If you are asked to do something that is against your religion, you are allowed to open your mouth. You are allowed to say, this I can't do. I need an alternative assignment. Imagine a student who is LGBTQ being asked to write a paper about the normalcy of heterosexuality. Any person from the LGBTQ community would say, I'm not writing that paper, and they would protest against it, and they would be supported. Well, by the same token, as a Muslim, when you're asked to write something that is against the Creator, you have the right to say, I need an alternative. I need a different assignment because this one goes against my personal beliefs and my religion. And you have avenues to escalate it past your professor if your professor wants to take it there. I've done it before. I had a professor that asked me to write an opinion-based paper. I wrote the paper, received an F for the paper. I went to the professor. I said, I'm not going for this. How can you give me an F for my opinion? The professor didn't want to budge. No problem. Everybody answers to somebody. I went to the department chair. I said, look, this is what's going on. I'm not going for this. Professor, the chair said, let me read the paper. He read the paper and he said, this is absolutely an A. He said, this was an opinion-based paper, correct? I said, yes. He said, as far as I'm concerned, this is an A. He had my grade overturned. And the professor who was teaching the class was actually a PhD student, quit the program. If you stand up for yourself, you stand up for the haqq, Allah will give you strength and He'll give you success. Always remember to stand on the haqq. When I became a student in Egypt, one of the things that one of the senior students told me upon entering, at that time, talib al-ilm, studying the Arabic language and all of that it entails, he told me, every day, purify your intention. Purify your intention. Make sure your intentions are correct. We know that Allah judges us based on our intentions. So always purify your intention. Before you leave the house in the morning, purify your intention. Remind yourself of why you're doing what you're doing. Another thing you can do when you are walking on campus, and these are just things that I did to sort of help me when you have your AirPods in or your Samsung, Bluetooth headset, listen to Quran, listen to khutbah, listen to lectures, listen to things that constantly remind you of Allah. Because you are in an environment, you are in, like I said, shark-infested waters. You are in an environment that is counter to Islam. It's counter to Islam, and this environment and the people involved with it will do everything they can to guide you away from Islam and have you thinking that Islam is archaic, that Islam is not set up for modern civilized humanity and civilization, and it's Islam that civilizes. What does the shaytaan do? He wants to take you away. And that's what these people And these ideologies will do, if you digest it incorrectly and you allow it to supersede your Islam, they'll have you thinking that up is down and down is up. Stay close to your Quran. Stay close. Listen to Quran in your ears. Take your Quran with you. Read it during break. Listen to lectures. Stay close to Allah. Ask for Allah's protection. And alhamdulillah, I do believe that you'll be successful. Do not be intimidated into thinking that you have to do anything. You are a customer. You pay to go to that school. So you do have rights. Most of the students that go to academia or go to higher education in the beginning are young. And because they're young, they're impressionable. They're easily intimidated. They don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to seem like, they don't want to get into it with the professor. No, not the correct approach. When it comes to your deen, that's first and foremost. You have to protect it. You have to protect your heart. You have to protect your mind. So do not be told that you have to do anything. Again, if you're asked to do something that is counter to Islam, then you have the right to ask for an alternative assignment for the equal grade. Keep that in mind. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.